Yes, hello, Demetrius. Scott Collier from Dundalk TV. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Scott?
I'm doing the best I can every day, and just the camera is on the numbers from Maryland's coronavirus dashboard, and we have 6,185 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. I've been following this closely since it was at 774, and that wasn't long ago. Yesterday it was at 5,500 and something. So it's not jumping up as high as some of the other states have been, but I still find these numbers to be very concerning, especially knowing that they've only tested a certain amount of people. So it's basically a snapshot of what's really happening.
Yeah, well, basically, I'll ask you the same question that I ask friends and family members. How many people do you know that have been tested? I mean, outside of a few people that I know that work in hospitals or in doctors' offices, I don't know anybody that's really been tested. So I'm not really sure how accurate these numbers are, not just here in the state of Maryland, but nationwide. Until there's a significant amount of testing done, we're not going to know how many people have the virus, how many people have recovered from the virus. We can't set timelines. I mean, it's a problem not having people tested.
Yes, I would 100% agree. And even at that, just knowing that this is basically a small portion, only a snapshot, 6,185 cases is quite a bit. So I have been wanting people to stay in and do the isolating of themselves like I have been doing. I've been doing the right things. And, when you go to the store now, everybody, the large part of the population is wearing masks. That helps protect our heroes out on the front lines that are at the grocery stores, at the pharmacies, that are at the doctor's offices. They're trying to protect us and they're trying to, help us. We need to do the same. We need to show the respect of protecting ourselves, even if we feel like some people are like, well, if I get it, I get it. But you have to make sure that you're not giving it to someone else. You could be giving it to the cashier. You could take it home and you could be giving it to somebody in your family. So, you have to think about more people than just yourself.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I wasn't one of the people who were out doomsday shopping a month and a half ago. So basically, I devised a plan that I would shop at the local food line that opens up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So when I need to grocery shop, which I've been trying to grocery shop uh, for a week at a time, I'll go to Food Line between 6:15 in the morning. I'm usually out of there by 6:45. I have enough groceries for the week. Bread's delivered fresh, so I'm not encountering empty shelves and different things like that. But what has bothered me is the fact that when I'm driving up and down 695, rather I'm taking my father to a doctor's appointment, going to a pharmacy, maybe going to Redner's up at East Point. I'm noticing the parking lot at the Walmart here in Dundalk. I can't say for other areas because I really haven't been venturing around, but the parking lots at the Walmart are crowded from basically the time that they open to the time that they close. Now they've joined Home Depot and Sam's Club and Costco, where they're limiting the amount of people inside of the store. I believe it's 150 people is basically what they're letting in at a time. But there, there's no way that the majority of the people, at least here in Dundalk and the Essex area, are adhering to the let's stay at home, let's knock this thing out, let's get back. I mean, if we had stricter restrictions on who should be out and who shouldn't be out, and we started enforcing this back at the beginning of March, who knows? Maybe we would have eradicated this virus by now. But
I'm in that
by the
belief.
looks of it, to
I'm
me,
in
they're
that
not even
camp.
listening.
I'm in that camp that believes that if everybody would have taken this seriously like they should have at the very beginning, we would be on the downside of this already.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and the fact that people continue. to live their lives like this. Look, I see a lot of people flashing statistics about 60,000 people died from influenza in 2018, and X amount died in 2019. Fine, it's horrible. I understand people die from the flu. Then they're trying to compare it to this. I said, well, here's the thing. This isn't flu season right now. If you want to flash a statistic to me, tell me how many people died from the flu from the beginning of March until the end of April in 2018 or 2019. Has 15,000 people, 20,000 people, 25, whatever the number will be at the end of this week, it'll probably be well over 20,000 come Easter Sunday. Did 20,000 people die from the flu in 2018 or 2019 from March until the middle of April? And if the answer is no, then please keep your opinion to yourself. This is a new beast. This thing is going to continue killing people. It's going to kill people at an alarming rate. I don't know if I should go by the numbers they're saying on the television. President Trump said maybe as much as 250,000. Then the numbers changed to, well, maybe it's only going to be 60 or 70,000. They're learning day by day the same as we are. But the only thing that has remained consistent throughout this entire episode since the daily briefings have started, please stay inside. If you stay inside of your home, if you limit the amount of times that you need to go out in public, we can beat this virus. We can defeat this virus. But no one is listening to the governor. No one's listening to the president. No one's listening to the scientists.
Well, no, you're listening. You're listening. You're listening. I'm listening. The medical professionals are begging for you to stay home. So people that aren't doing this are doing the wrong thing. And if nothing else, if you really don't believe in this 100%, how about just being a patriotic American and work along with the system right now? Let's treat this, if you don't believe everything that's going on, how about just treating it like a fire drill in case, the bodies were stacking up on the corner, that they were just, the emergency people were stacking them up on the corner until they could come back and pick them up. They were doing mass graves and everything. How about let's looking at it that we're preventing something like that down the road? And to be quite honest with you, I don't think that if we didn't close the schools, the restaurants, the churches, and all those things, I cannot imagine what really would be happening right now. So they didn't really take things so seriously in New York, and things were pretty bad there. But then they started to get a grip on it, and things looks like they're turning the corner. So how about let's just, if the people that work along with, how about the people that don't really want to believe this so much, work along with the people that are doing everything right? Let's treat it like it's some type of fire drill or drill that we're seeing, that if we really do have something even more serious in the future, how together as Americans we can learn from this experience and move forward and start putting our country back on the track that we need to here in the near future instead of further down the road.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Scott, it's not if, it's when the next one will occur.
Okay.
Hopefully we're learning lessons right now that we will be able to effectively put a plan in place when the next event comes around. I'm a little hesitant to call this, a virus.
I know your concerns. Yes, I understand your concerns.
So, the next time there's a flu, a virus, or if, the Chinese government wants to launch another biological weapon, we'll be prepared. We need to, once the N95 masks become available again, I think every household would be wise to stockpile 100, 200 masks, maybe a few dozen boxes of gloves, a few gallons of sanitizer.
Yes, well, right now, right now, I wanted to mention if people want to stock up on something so they don't have to go out. I bought a case of the tuna fish at the Save a Lot today. They have cases. They have a large stock of tuna fish, 79 cents a can. I bought up on a couple of uh, things of mayonnaise, a couple things of relish. So I'll have something there. I have something that is going to hold me over, so I don't have to go out, so I don't wind up in that emergency type situation. So I would recommend to go there. Stock up on some canned goods, and yes, this is going to prepare. This should be the wake up call to make people start preparing for something that comes in the future. Now, let me, and I want to thank our heroes that are at the grocery stores, that are at the doctor's office, anybody that's out there keeping things moving for our government, including our military personnel, whether it be National Guard or just active military. Now, let me ask. I actually had shared a video with you about a situation that was happening outside of my friend's house in the Penn North area of Baltimore City. So please give me your perspective of that. And also, I had sent that to the governor's office. So what you would think, if you had the opportunity to have a minute to speak to the governor, what you would say to him about that issue.
Well, here's the thing. I watched the video now 3 times, and I believe the friend that you're referring to is Don. He's a
No, Tamu.
retired.
Tamu is who I was talking about.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. Well, anyway, here's my thing. In the video, she mentioned the fact that she was disturbed. Her neighbors were disturbed. They're concerned with the violence. They're concerned with the groups of people out in front of her house. I mean, in the video, you see one police officer pulling in to basically a mob of people in the middle of the afternoon. Maybe there's 100, 200 people in that video, and one police officer pulls up. Listen, the police officers right now in Baltimore City haven't been policing West Baltimore in that area now for quite some time, ever since the Freddie Gray incident. So even before this virus, the police were not really doing, I don't want to say that they weren't doing, well, yeah, they're not doing their job. They're understaffed up there. And if I was a police officer,
well, they also have a state's attorney's office that's trying to prosecute them for anything. So they're not working with them; they're working against them. So we understand why the police have a standoff attitude right now.
exactly, because as soon as they arrest them, most weeks she's letting them right out the back door. So what are you doing? You're risking your life to make a simple arrest when you know this person's either going to be released that day or later that day. Maybe you get lucky. Every once in a while, you pick somebody up and they have a warrant for, murder or something like that. I mean, but right now, the problem is the elected officials in Baltimore. And this is the question that I would have asked the lady in the video. If you and your neighbors are so concerned about the problem in your neighborhood, will you answer one question for me? Who did you vote for in the last mayoral election? Who did you vote for? And Scott, I guarantee you right now, none of them are going to tell you that they voted for the Republican candidate.
Well, actually, the woman that is in the video, she is part of the Republican Central Committee. So there is being a change there. And you mentioned my friend Donald Rubottom, and I don't know how well you know Donald, but we're doing some things together. Thankfully, he's a great guy, and he's on the conservative side. So he's trying to get people to wake up to the same thing you're saying, and you're 100% right. But even at that, no matter if the Democrats were in there, just even with the governor, I have asked the governor to do something, especially with the National Guard being here right now, with the social distancing and everything. These people are not complying to his emergency order. They could send the National Guard in there and start dispersing these people. They could even, detain these people and take them to a location where they check them out to see whether or not they did. I would like to know whether or not they are carrying this around. I'd like to know how far it's spreading. I would like to know, where these people are coming from. So I think people are coming from Anne Arundel County and different areas, Harford County, different areas coming to here because this is a central point for drugs. And I don't think that they're just there to buy nickel and dime bags. I think they're there, this many people. It was a snapshot. You said about 100, maybe 200, but actually I counted about 50, 60 people there. That's what I estimated. But throughout the day, speaking to Moo, they're doing this almost 20 hours a day. There could be 1,000 people a day rolling through that neighborhood.
Well, first of all, you mentioned Donald. Donald's a great guy, retired Baltimore City Sheriff's Department.
No, he's still working. He's still working for them right now.
Is he still with them?
Yes, he is.
I thought Donald retired.
No, not yet.
Anyhow, my best friend actually worked with Donald for several years. He was in the department, but Donald's one of the exceptions to the rules. Maybe you have Donald and a few other out of every 100 voters in Baltimore City that would even see. The problem is they're not smart voters because they're not listening to the candidates. They're not listening to the issues.
Well, let me get back to the point. You made the point there. We're running up on almost 17 minutes. I try not to make these too long because people don't like to watch long videos. So, if you were able to say something to the governor, because I've actually sent this to his office, I'm hoping that he's able to do something, even sending in the National Guard right now. That would be my recommendation. But what would you say to the governor about this particular situation?
That's exactly what I would tell the governor. Please send the National Guard and don't just send them in to do a job, assist with the police and arrest. If you can send a few military with each of the police officers to get out there and start making arrests, but what good's it gonna do if Mosby's gonna just let them right back out? I mean.
Well, then we need to keep on exposing it. We need to keep on exposing it. And thank goodness Marcus Strider Dent, actually from the Guardian Angels, has responded to me that they would be willing to help out. But right now, he's actually on the front lines of this pandemic. He's been in New York, and so he hasn't been able to do that. And also, we have the social distancing. I don't think it would be good to bring those people and exposing them at this point in time to it. But if this continues, I'm hoping that the Guardian Angels will be out there. So, Dundalk TV is really trying to make a push to make a difference in that community. And, I would like to even see them start to offer these people drug treatment and, say, hey, we will, switch you to methadone and work you through a program and try to help these people out to get them off of drugs as well. And I think that could go a long way in reducing the crime and actually helping to reduce the drug problem.
And until Marilyn Mosby is investigated and brought up on charges for the way she has been treating the criminals in Baltimore City for the past 5 years, nothing that we do is going to matter. It's just a waste of taxpayers' money. It's a waste of resources. You're going to endanger the lives of police officers. Until this woman is investigated to find out why she is letting violent criminals out of jails, why she is allowing criminals to run their drug operations in Baltimore City without the fear of any punishment, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. Until we find out what her reason is for doing the things she is doing, no matter how many arrests we make, no matter what the police do, it's not going to matter, Scott. You know it and I know it.
Yeah, but we're shining a spotlight on it, and that's what we need to do. So hopefully this video will help in bringing possibly the Guardian Angels in and letting people know that, we are not going to stand for this. Will make a difference. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We look forward to having you back sometime soon.